Hey, everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking on your Monday? Glad to see you. Glad you're here. Glad you made it through the weekend. Tonight, I am going to tell you about the Lingerie Football League, which you can see back there, kind of. Oh, there's so much to tell you about this that you're not going to believe. We'll get to that in about 5 minutes. There's all sorts of business to take care of first. Like, share, subscribe, retweet, notify bell, blah, blah, blah. Any of the free things that you can do, please do them because that helps us out in the algorithm, the almighty algorithm. And we get in front of people a little more often. And why am I doing this with my hands? All right. So, first of all, no Warren Zevon in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame again. So the place is a joke. It's just like I won't watch another Major League Baseball game until they fire Angel Hernandez, and I won't go to the Rock and Roll Hall. We almost had a problem there. And I won't go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or even, unless Warren Zevon's in there. There was a band, I didn't even know the name of it. We go to places that something. It was a sentence, and I've never heard of them, and they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I can see why Big Mama Thornton and some of the older, like, roots of rock and roll people are in there that we might not know of. But there's people in there that are just like, are you kidding? There's rap groups in. Then Warren Zevon. Anyway, but the real important stuff. Okay, yeah. Bottom of the screen there. We've got merchandise. You can go to TomGullyShow.com, 270 podcasts. One of them's got to entertain you and interest you. But our store is there, or you can go to cafepress.com/The Tom Gully Show, and there's merch that you can buy. Shirts and hats and cups and mugs and things with my logo on it. And if you think the logo is cool, then that makes you cool, by association. And then also the thing that just went past that I was trying to get to is please turn on your gifted memberships. There's some super generous people in this room. Actually, you're all really super generous because you've sublimated all of your standards for entertainment to be here tonight with me. But if you turn on your gifted memberships, people gift memberships, and if you have yours turned on, you get one for free, and then it's cool. Everybody likes that. And you can super chat if you'd like as well. So there we go. But the most important thing, who did the Z-Man make mad? Who's the Z? You mean Z-Man Barzell from the movie Beyond the Valley of the Dolls? You talking about Zumock? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the Z-Man. But the SG Fanboy just said that. Let me tell you something. By the way, I put this in here. Smiles, everyone. Smiles. I was hoping somebody would get the reference as Fantasy Out. But SG Fanboy rocks the house. And let me show you how badly SG Fanboy rocks the house. You know how I love gully heads, gullerinos, gully gang, flock of sea gullies, whatever you want to call it. Assemble. I got to tell you, Avengers Endgame is so underrated as a movie. There are so many, whoa, yes, awesome moments in that movie. When Cap picks up the Uru hammer, and Thor says, I knew it. And then he starts kicking Thanos' butt with it. Anyway, when he says, Avengers, and all of them have come back from that nether, from being dead because of Thanos' snap in the previous movie. And they're all in that huge line. I mean, all of them. And armies and spacecraft and giant Ant-Men and everything else. And he Avengers, assemble. And then they all just, oh God, that is so awesome. So when you guys do the assemble thing, you can't imagine how awesome I think that is. Well, SG Fanboy, who I've never met. I don't know him personally other than this room and the other various Dabbleversian rooms. What a cool dude, man. He's been so nice to me. He's nicer to me than people that like know me. But here's what he did. Here's what he did. He didn't just do one thing. You guys are going to love this. I mean, when I say you're going to love it, you're going to love it. All right, here we go. First, he did this. Let me just give this its own. Look at that. He AI'd my face onto Captain America for the Assemble. Actually, I think that's a scene from the first Avengers movie, and that's the scene when he and Bruce Banner, he and Tony Stark are having an argument. I think that's what that's from. But it doesn't matter. The spirit of it is there. He put my face on Captain America, I guess so I can go, assemble. All right. Cool? Hopefully you guys can still hear me. All right. So, and then this one, I think, this is even better, although it's hard to top that because of the assemble. And that actually looks like one of my old goalkeeping jerseys, to be honest with you. I would have worn a jersey like that, by the way. But this one, check this out. This is SG Fanboy, ladies and gentlemen. Please give him props all over the chat room, if you will, because he deserves them. He super deserves them. And he's been super financially generous to this show as well. So appreciate that. Check this out. Now, is that not awesome? Is that not the best? It's just like, I wear glasses like that. It's even my hair. No, it's just the Hulk with my face on him. But that is so cool. That is so nice. That, man, oh, God, does that just get me excited about doing this show. Which, after Fridays, I need some excitement. And after working at the big fancy radio station on the weekend, I need excitement from that, too, because I'm tired. Super tired. Some would say fed up, but tired nonetheless. Daggone it. There we go. Yeah, you guys could hear me. Fine. I knew I was working this right. I knew I was working this thing right. Wait, now I'm teeny tiny like Vince the lawyer, and I want to be like this. Anyway, that's super awesome. Let's go through some of these chats, and then we'll get to the Lingerie Football League, which somebody requested, and it turns out it's a pretty awesome topic. That happens all the time. When you guys request something, it ends up being a pretty cool show. We'll get through a few of these, and then I will tell you about the Lingerie Football League. Let's see here. Hail to the Doctorn. Aku says, as I foretold of, as foretold in Revelations, the Tom Gully Show. Hi, Gullarinos, says Diana O'Brien. Hello, Diana O'Brien from Shrewsbury, Shropshire, over across the pond. Randy says, Chef off today, yet in a house. Thank you, Chef, for being here. People saying hi. We do have the most cheerful chat room on the internet. It's been proven by verified sources. Aku says, screwball and DP isn't a bad mix. As soon as I can find a can of strawberry and cream, I'll report of it. Yeah, some people wrote me this weekend about the fact that they can't get all these flavors like Dr. Pepper with cream soda in Canada, which is just wrong. I don't know who the Z-Man... Oh, who did the Z-Man make mad? Well, actually, I saved it to watch later on YouTube. But somebody last year, because he was nominated last year, he wasn't nominated this year. There's a video that supposedly explains why he hasn't been nominated. And I didn't have time to watch it, but I'm going to watch it tonight. So I'll report back tomorrow. Warren Zevon. I think that is the coolest name. I wish I could change my last name to Zevon. Anyway, let's see here. Hugh is here. He says, I'm in the YouTube chat now. Yeah, Hugh Hungus Mungus. Yeah, you're not just hitchhiking anymore. You're riding. Yeah. Hey, gang. Hello, Kahuna. How are you? Boom. Hello, says Joker. Ronald Bateman says, I met Dale from the Ant-Man movie. He's great. Ronald Bateman, you're on Facebook, aren't you? I might have a question I need to ask you privately. Aku says, I won't say it's underrated. Overpromised and underdelivered would be better. Okay. Sorry when that happens. People saying hi. Doctrine says Captain Gully. Jenny says very cool. Isn't it though? Isn't it though? I think that's Homelander. No, it's not Homelander. Although maybe I am a bit more like Homelander than Captain America because I like Elizabeth Shue, but I wouldn't burn her eyeballs out with my heat rays like Homelander did. People saying hi. SG, that is so awesome. It is so awesome. Ronald Bateman gave the order. Here we are. That's right. Assemble. Oh, God, I love that. I may watch that tonight. I just may watch that tonight. Doop-a-doop-doo is here. That's Karen Garvey, to those of us who know her well. SG rules. You do rule, SG. You really do. Ronald J. Bateman, you met Greg Turkington? Let's see. I don't know what that means. That looks great. Very cool. Ronald Bateman says, thank you, Gully Heads, Gullarinos, flock of sea gullies. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah. I actually like it that there is no defined name, that there's like 10 names. There's other ones too. What were they? I can't remember, but there's other ones. Doc Torn says, now that's some fine photo editing right there. Right on, SG fanboy. That is too cool. Way to go, SG. There we go. Hello, Wild Bill. People saying hi. We do have the most cheerful chat room on the internet. That Hulk blend fits well. It looks like the original. Yeah, there's me. Listen to your parents. Anyway. Thank you. Brett Hollywood says the Tom Gully Show legitimately ruined my bid for lieutenant governor only because we think you should be governor, Brett Hollywood. Ronald J. Bateman says, you know how to get a hold of me, sir. I do? I may have forgotten. If your name is Ronald J. Bateman on Facebook, then I know. Joker, missed that. Ronald says, I did meet Greg Turkington many times. Super nice gentleman. Man, you're lucky. Spoiler alert, Tom definitely watching Endgame tonight. I am. I pretty much am. Ronald, he is so funny. I'm a firm believer of superhero movies outside of a fistful that aren't as good as live action. Endgame is criminally underrated. It is such a good movie. Hungus Mungus is my own gamer name. I don't Google the meeting. Okay, I won't. Aku, Kahuna, and Hey Rev, people saying hi to each other. You know, when people tell me not to Google something, I'm one of the few people that actually does not Google it. I'm like, hey, I'll take your word for it, man. And the reason for that is the term was Alabama Hot Pocket, and I made the mistake of Googling it, and I've never since made that same mistake. All right. I'm opening my thing for those of you wondering what's going on right now. I'm opening my thing. You've always got to open your thing. I didn't want to see that thing. I wanted this thing. All right. Okie dokie. Let me tell you about the Lingerie Football League, also known as the Lingerie Football League. There it is. It's, we'll explain what it is. All right. I got to tell you, first of all, the Lingerie Football League is no longer called the Lingerie Football League. And I got to tell you, it's owned by somebody that will shock you. Only for a few years, but the owner of what the Lingerie Football League became, let me just start with this, because this will blow your mind. Mike Ditka. That's right. Super Bowl winning coach, Hall of Fame player in the NFL, Mike Ditka. You know, Ditka. Yeah, he owns the Lingerie Football League, which isn't called that anymore, but I'll get to that. Okay, so the concept of the Lingerie Football League actually originated from a Super Bowl halftime television special called the Lingerie Bowl that they put on to get people who didn't want to watch halftime, mostly men, to watch a pay-per-view event opposite whatever musical events were going on at halftime. And to do that, they had smoking hot babes in lingerie, which that's the American way, isn't it? So in 2009, a guy by the name of Mitch Mortaza expanded the concept from one single annual exhibition game into a 10-team league called the Lingerie Football League, or LFL. And they had a schedule that was similar to the NFL's. They played in the fall and the winter. Most of the games were indoors with rules similar to indoor football or arena league football. Many of the teams were coached by former NFL players and coaches who were very well known in the city that team was playing in. Many of the LFL players had a background in other competitive athletics. You know, these were some of them athletes at the college or semi-pro level, and some had experience in playing tackle football from playing in other semi-professional leagues. So whereas you had that first exhibition event and ones like it that just had models, supermodels, hot girls, Playboy models, you know, these are getting to be sort of athletes, okay? Now, the initial uniforms consisted of, as I'm showing you here, shoulder pads, elbow pads, knee pads, ice hockey style helmets so you can still see their faces with clear plastic visors instead of face masks. And they had an athletic bra, like a jogging bra or whatever you might call it, like that. But although they showed off a lot of cleavage, you know what I'm saying? But they were still bras. And underwear that was like more revealing than protective. And some of them have lace and ribbons and things of that nature because guys, garters. And while these uniforms were criticized by many, mostly the media, the player reactions were typically kind of mixed. And they were like, well, hey, track athletes wear pretty much the same level of revealing clothing, and let's not get into beach volleyball bikinis. So anyway, after about 3 seasons, the league says, hey, we're going to start another league that will be in sort of companionship with us in Canada in August of 2012. And so that pushed the U.S. season back to 2013. And then they started playing in the spring and summer, kind of opposite the NFL and more like indoor or arena football. Now, during that downtime, the league announced that it was changing its name to the Legends Football League so they could keep the LFL part. I think that's a terrible idea, but that's what they did. And they said the athletes would wear performance apparel instead of lingerie. But when the league started playing again, the uniforms were like identical, and everybody's like, "This isn't performance. That doesn't make any." So, in addition to new uniforms, the shoulder pads were redesigned because a lot of the players had complained they weren't protective enough. And hold on. Let me give you another picture to look at. It is, after all, the Lingerie Football League. What would it be without pictures? Thank you, StreamYard, for that circle. They eliminated pictures of gratuitous, sexy women from team logos, and they changed the league tagline from true fantasy football, like fantasy, get it, to women of the gridiron. So, along with the rebrand in 2013, the league also began changing the uniforms as the originals were too heavy on sex appeal, so they dropped all the ribbons and garters, but there was still a lot of fun. I mean, look at that lady. Please. So the league designed new uniforms in 2014 and made more traditional activewear. and they replaced a lot of things to try and unsexy it up, which is like, why are you doing that, man? Don't you understand? Anyway, the LFL began looking into a Latin American league with 6 franchises throughout Mexico, Brazil, and Argentina. And in 2013, they postponed the entire Canada season until 2014 because they wanted to merge USA, Canada, and Mexico together into a giant league called LFL North America. And then they formed a league in December of 2013. 2013 was a big year for the Lingerie Football League. In Australia, they figured they needed a league down under. Let me just show you another picture here. These pictures have actually no bearing in what we're talking about whatsoever. And then they're going to announce a 4th league, LFL Europa, in 2015 with teams in Dublin, Manchester, Dusseldorf, Hamburg, Barcelona, Frankfurt, and with 4 global leagues. Then they were going to have an LFL World Bowl in Sao Paulo, Brazil in 2015. So in July of 2014, the league planned 3 leagues: LFL Americas, LFL Europa, and LFL Oceania. So on June 10th, 2015, they announced there would be no international play through at least 2017, with the sole focus on growing the league in the U.S., the exception being international exhibition games to get those other countries excited. So it sounds like they did a lot of plans for expansion to get people all worked up, and then they didn't do those things. So the LFL announced new uniforms with new colors for 2016. I mean, on one hand, it sounds like that the uniforms are a big deal, and on the other hand, why wouldn't they be a big deal given that it was started as lingerie? And thirdly, ladies like fashion. Numbers and logos were printed on the uniform as opposed to previously being sewn on. In addition, the league also announced that teams would have a choice of camouflage or black alternates, which is in keeping with most pro sports teams in the U.S. In 2017, the league also added a long pants uniform in lieu of the regular bikini bottom for the final home games. So, there you go. Now, this continued until December of 2019. Let me give you another picture here, if I could. Let me just give you another. Oh, people are gifting memberships. Man, oh man. Julian Zeezer has gifted a membership, as has our good friend Rumpled Trenchcoat, a Colombo podcast. Thank you guys so much for gifting those. Some other people have done some. Oh, Jenny G, thank you so much. She says, love your show, and thank you for the $10. You are a very, very generous lady. Kahuna says he is gifted 5 The Tom Gully Show memberships. So please turn those memberships on, because all you have to do is go to the URL that's going to appear here in just a second, which is, I believe, youtube.com/@Tom Gully Show /allow_gifts. Let's see how good I am. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, youtube.com/@Tom Gully Show /allow_gift. Hey, did I get it? Huh? Occasionally, things stick up in here. All right, let's get back. Now, let's get back to the show. Here's some more Lingerie Football League players. Okay. Uh-oh. Obviously not a league rule banning camel. Never mind. So in 2019, in December of that year, the league says, hey, we're not going to have a 2020 season, and we're going to reevaluate all of our markets. 4 days later, these guys are crazy with their shuffling of things. The LFL was restructured into what they call the Extreme Football League, which said they would begin to play in April of 2020. The league size remained at 8 teams, and I'll tell you the names of these teams later on. You're going to laugh. Which initially were all in the same markets as former LFL teams, but under new identities. So they were basically the same team locations and new, names. The Nashville Knights was the only one that did not change its name, but they were replaced by the Kansas City Force in 2020. As part of the restructuring, it began offering ownership stakes to the players and coaches based on contributions, commitment to the organization, as well as revenue distribution for merchandise by featuring an individual player's likeness. So if you had your likeness featured and it did really well and it made a lot of money, you would get the opportunity to have an ownership in the team. The league also said it was going to use 70-yard fields in a press release, although they never did that. And that league also, their uniform was fully padded. Insert your pad jokes here, but they wore full uniforms. The league's first season was postponed because it was going to start in June 2020, and that was during COVID pandemic. During the hiatus from June of 2020 to April of 2021, which was ultimately pushed back to the summer of 2022, the league announced that Mike Ditka himself, Hall of Fame football player, coach, won that Super Bowl in '85 with the, Super Bowl shuffle, Chicago Bears, TV commentator. He was Rookie of the Year in 1961, 5-time Pro Bowl selection, 6-time All-Pro tight end with the Chicago Bears, Philadelphia Eagles, and Dallas Cowboys. Iron Mike Ditka, owner and chairman of the league, with plans on expanding into 24 U.S. markets. And the 2022 season began with the Chicago Blitz facing the aforementioned Kansas City Force. After a 9-week regular season with a total of 7 games, 4 teams went to the playoffs, and the Blitz captured the first X Cup when they defeated the Atlanta Empire. The league did not announce plans for a 2023 season, later updated the website with plans to announce a 2024 schedule in October of 2023. And they now say we're going to start in 2025, and we're going to announce that in October of this year. They're supposed to announce that. Here's some more players in the. That's not that exciting. Here's an exciting action shot of one of the games. An exciting action shot. Okay, so the rules, it's full contact, like a lot of indoor football leagues, arena football leagues. 7 players are on the field. 7-man football is big here in Texas for smaller schools. The field is 50 yards between the end zones, 30 yards wide. The end zones are 8 yards deep. It's just like an indoor football league field. A lot of these fields are converted National Hockey League rinks with the plexiglass removed. There are no kickoffs, except for the option of an onside kick if somebody wants to do that. After a touchdown, a team can attempt a 1-point conversion from the 1 or a 2-point. That's normal. The game is 4 10-minute quarters, 12-minute halftime, 30-minute halftime in the championship. In the event of a tie, an extra 8 sudden death minute period is played. Who cares about the rules? The league has been criticized since it began. Critics say the league degrades women, female athletes through objectification. The uniforms get a lot of criticism for how revealing they are, which is probably why a lot of people watch it. They got a lot of respect as athletes, but they lost a lot of respect because of the uniforms. And I already told you that these LFL players, a lot of people noted that they're not wearing any less than track and field or beach volleyball athletes wear. Nobody says anything about it. So other players have been quoted as saying the uniforms are a necessary evil. One of them said, maybe one day girls won't have to wear lingerie to get people interested in women's football. But right now we do. And And the biggest complaint from the women were how many scrapes they would get because they're playing on artificial turf. And with all that exposed skin, they just had all those rug burns all the time. The league prohibits players from commenting on personnel matters. Originally, it was a professional league with the players getting a cut of the net revenue. The Mike Mortaza guy I told you about, he stopped paying his players and converted the whole thing into an amateur organization. And that's when everybody said, forget you, and they had to sell the league. The players have to pay their own health insurance. And the founder of the league, Mike Mortaza, said, this league is marketed toward mostly beer-drinking college students age 21 and up. There are some criticisms about safety, mostly because of those rug burn. Ex-lingerie football player Nikki Johnson was one of the many players who experienced injuries in her time in the league, including injuries from hard hits, broken wrist, and some of those things. Now, here's the current teams, right? Arizona Red Devils, okay. Yeah. Atlanta Empire, all right. Austin Sound, all right. Chicago Blitz, Denver Rush, Kansas City Force, Los Angeles Black Storm, and the Seattle Thunder. Those all sound like legitimate, those sound like they could be Arena Football League names. Nashville Knights, Omaha Red Devils used to be teams, but they were relocated. Here's a bunch of the other ones. And I'm just going to focus on the ones that tried to play up the sex appeal. The Baltimore Charm, the Chicago Bliss, the Cleveland Crush, although the Cleveland Crush could have been playing off of, there's a popular soccer team there named Crunch, the Cleveland Crunch. The Dallas Desire, Denver Dream, the Las Vegas Sin, Los Angeles Temptation. I like this one. It's not the Miami Caliente. Hey, Caliente. Minnesota Valkyrie, because they have those Nordic women up there. The Omaha Heart, the Orlando Fantasy, Philadelphia Passion, the San Diego Seduction. Anyway, here's some ones that never played. They had teams founded, but they never played. San Francisco Seduction, Washington Warriorettes, the Saskatoon Sirens. I'd have gone and seen them. The Calgary Phillies. Yeehaw, Phillies. Calgary's a big horse town. Surge Brigade, Maiden Angels. Let's see here. Do we really want to go through the seasons one by one? I don't think we really want to go through the seasons one by one of this league, do we? Really? I don't hear any of you going, I'll never forget in 2013 when the Blitz took on the... No. MTV2 licensed the broadcast rights right out of the gate in 2010, and they had a program entitled LFL Presents Friday Night Football on MTV2, and they broadcast a game a week and also the championship game. In 2013, the league began airing all their games exclusively online on a week-delayed basis, releasing their games every Saturday on YouTube. And those games were in 1080, which was a big deal back in 2013. Fuse in 2015, Fuse became the exclusive broadcaster. For 2016, games were broadcast in select markets of affiliates of the CW, My Network TV. In 2017, Super Channel was the exclusive Canadian broadcaster. In May of 2022, the league announced on Twitter that they would have an exclusive subscription service called Fan Pass to directly stream games live and on demand. So there you are. By the way, in 2012, the Legends Football League teamed with Japanese-based Ukes Company Limited to design and develop an official LFL game. So I'd kind of like to know how you guys feel about it. I mean, if you're asking me, I say you either got to go full-on competitive, which I don't think is going to be that successful. There's a lot of football out there. There's arena football. There's the UFL now. There's obviously the NFL, college, high school. Or you sex appeal it up. And at one point, they were making it a hybrid between tackle and flag. I think they should go full-on flag. Flag is popular right now. And they should go for the cheesecake. SG Fanboy, who is so generous, he has gifted 5 The Tom Gully Show memberships. And all you got to do, go to youtube.com/@TomGullyShow/allow_gifts. And you're going to get those free gifts that are just hanging there. They're like fruit hanging on it. They're so, it's like free money. It's just waiting there. It's waiting for you to take it. Let me get back to where I was in the, oh yeah, don't Google the meaning. People saying hi, people saying hi, people saying hi. Aku says he can't get into Marvel movies now. I don't, well, you Gully heads assemble. What more do you need to get you into it? People saying hi. Most cheerful chat room on the internet. Most cheerful chat room on the internet. Darkman. Best SH movie. I like Darkman. It's really good. Animated series, absolutely love, but can't keep my head in live action. Oh, I can. Rumpled Trench Coat, a Columbo podcast, which, by the way, you got to check that podcast out. I am a huge Columbo fan. I think I have the first, I want to say 2 seasons on DVD, but I'm a sucker for Columbo anytime, and he covers it like nobody else. I will absolutely not Google Arizona Hot Pocket now. Well, it's Alabama Hot Pocket, which I have to think, just if you compare Arizona to Alabama, has to be far worse. I'm just going to remind everybody of Jenny G's extremely generous $10 donation. Trench coat, same. Yeah, don't do that. Don't Google that. No. Trump owns it? No, Trump doesn't know it. Karen Garvey, some of you know her as Dupa Dupa Doo. She says, "Oh my God, I just Googled it." Karen, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You've been soiled by just reading that. Humongous. Hungus Mungus, sorry, has got some cool red cat or something there. I don't know. I'm going to remind everybody of Kahuna's generous 5 subscription donation there. Very nice. Turn on those gifted memberships. Thank you, Kahuna. Hey, Rumpled got one of them, I guess. Dupa, I don't know what it is, but I'm trying to resist the urge. Please resist the urge. Please resist the urge. Lyndon's here. Hey, Lyndon. There was a girl in college, and her name was spelled differently, but it was Lyndon, and she was so gorgeous. Kahuna, people saying hi. People saying hi. Hey, Jared's here. He says he's happy to be here. I also am happy to be here. Diane O'Brien says, just turn my gifted memberships on. Just saying. Well, they get randomly awarded, but I imagine you'll get one. I don't know. I can't stop looking at that lady. Yeah, it's hard. Well, here, let me move a little of the temptation, just a little of it. I would like to remind everyone of Julian Zeezer's kind donation. I'd like to remind everyone of Rumpled Trenchcoat's kind donation. You know, the list of guest villains and guest stars, actually, on Columbo is staggering. It's like old Hollywood come back to life. It really is. Rumpled, congrats. Let's see, Lululemons. Lululemons, don't get me started. Lululemons, let's see here. Very aerodynamic dresses, I see. I'm assuming that's what you're going for there. People saying hi. Nice, guys. And hold on a second here. I got a big announcement coming up. XXXFL. Yeah, triple XFL. Everything is big in Texas, especially me. I bet feminists love this league. Feminists hate this league. I'm going to remind everyone of SG Fanboy's very generous 5 gifted memberships. Thanks, SG Fanboy, for the memberships. So Jenny G got herself one. Baltimore is known as the Charm City. It is. It is. If you're looking for something to do in Charm City, go down to the Block. I'm sure if you know Baltimore's known as Charm City, then you know what the Block is. That is good stuff. You know, Red Baron is now making pizzas, square, rectangular ones, with stuffed crust. I made one today for lunch. It was fabulous. The New York... I don't know if that's the name of a team or not at Rumpel, but it's funny. You're welcome, Jenny G. Rumpel Trenchcoat is smiling. The Doctorn says, is this just real life? Is this Orlando fantasy? God in a world, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. Yes, full-on flag and let the ladies dress in sexy stuff. That's what I say. Also, flag football doesn't have that component of injury and sort of brute force, and it's all about speed. And, you know, it's just, flag football is cool. Hugh says, I'm not kidding. I thought the lingerie football thing was just a Super Bowl commercial thing. I'm glad they didn't advertise it better. No, it exploded into a whole thing that it shouldn't have become. And all these announcements. This next year, we're going to do this thing and that thing, and we're going to do the other thing too. And then nothing. Aku says they wanted to do a flag football, but you can imagine how hard it was to get advertising. Yeah. I think they should do flag football with, like, it should be at over 50 with former NFL greats. Rumpel Trenchcoat says, I agree. They should have gone full flag, no padding other than natural needed. Would have really cleaned up. They'd have cleaned up there. They'd have made a lot of coin. They made some beautiful coin. That's what they would have done. That's what they would have done. You betcha. Sorry, I'm checking on something real quick because it's something vibrated on my phone. Anyway. Let me see here. Jenny is laughing. Hungus Mungus. Oh, by the way, phone lines are open at 972-994-6822. I need to sue Hollywood. I'm the only dark man. Okay. Don't Google Rule 34. I think I know what Rule 34 is, and it's true, but I wouldn't Google it. I don't suggest Googling that other thing I mentioned. I'm glad I recommended this, says Aku. I'm glad you did too, Aku. I really am. Behind Tom is a bottom line I can get behind. Yes. Good people here, Tom. Yes, Lyndon, you are correct. There's a bunch of good people. Do not go on the block. Never, ever, says Terry Nee. JC says, Tom, I love you, but that's not pizza. Well, for frozen, it's pretty good. You know. But you're right. It's not traditionalist pizza. Trevor Garner wants to know if he can call in. And if you think you can, you go right ahead. If your numbers aren't all blocked. Last time I had to call you. Diane O'Brien says, but when I type into YouTube, there's nothing there. Oh my God, what am I doing wrong? Well, you gotta, Diana, you gotta use that excuse me, you got to use that thing that's about to show up at the end of the crawl on the bottom of the screen. Turn on gifted memberships. You go to youtube.com/@TomGullyShow/allow_gifts. And that should take you to a page where you can turn that on. And if not, get one of your sons to help you. Oh, God, here we go. Okay, the first call sometimes screws up. So, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, got it the first time. Okay, call back. The first call always screws up for YouTube or something. Oh, geez. Such a pain. Hi, and welcome to the Tom Gully Show. You're on the air.
Hey, this is Savannah. How are you?
Who is this?
Savannah.
Hey, Savannah. How are you doing?
Good. How you doing?
How are you doing?
Amazing.
Good.
Are you plus the strip club right now? I'm doing amazing.
Good. I'm glad. What's going on this evening? Why did you call the program?
I've been watching the pictures of the booties on your thing, and got nice booties. For one. Nice booties for one.
Okay.
And what's your favorite team? I want to ask you.
I don't really have a favorite lingerie football league team. No. I'm a fan of the sport more than an individual team.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can play football in the mud one day. I'll tackle you down.
No, I don't think you could.
Really?
Really?
I could. Trust me, please.
I don't think so.
I've taken big guys down many times.
Well, I don't doubt that, but I'm like 6'5" and in really good shape.
Okay, well, someone wants to say hi to you. Hold on.
All right, it's going to be Trevor.
Yep.
Hello.
Yeah, what's that?
Not much, except I can hardly hear you.
Yeah, okay. Hold on.
There, that's better.
Here. Okay. Anyway, no, we were watching this, Savannah. We did a show yesterday. Savannah did a show about, she works in a strip club. We were watching about, the football league, the girls football. And I just showed her. I turned her on to your show. That's all I wanted to do.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm always plugging you.
Yeah, I know. You guys are always saying really super nice things about me on your show.
I never say bad things about you anymore. I think you're really talented. I like to use your topic.
You just let other people say them.
What am I supposed to do? I can't change that.
He can't call it.
You say, "Don't you dare besmirch the name of the great Tom Gully on my program. Be gone with you." Okay. And you kick them off the show forever.
You're mean.
That's not mean.
That's because when he's drinking and being stupid. That's when he's drinking and being stupid.
Well, the thing is, I haven't had a shot of whiskey for like 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, I touch a beer here, and so that Brad, I just had a call. Let her watch the show. He likes it.
Yeah, he does IPA now. He doesn't drink like he used to. No. I'll guarantee that for a fact. He does not drink like he used to. Because trust me, I had to kick him on so many goddamn bars. I am not lying. I've kicked him on so many bars. Trevor, get the fuck home. Get in the car.
Hey,
no.
Hey.
Sorry.
Let's keep our remarks within the bounds of good taste.
Sorry.
She worked as this is a good, I'm not trying to joke, but she runs a strip club.
I used to kick him out of bars.
Yes.
Several times.
So that's why we're watching the women.
When he got too drunk, I had to kick him out of several bars.
Yeah.
Okay. we're the women's football league.
So we're watching the Women's Football League.
Well, nobody used to drink like Trevor. I mean, come on.
That is the truth.
I mean, come on. The guy was, come on. Oh my.
That is the truth.
Oh my goodness. The SG fanboy has just sent me 4 AI pictures. Two of them are me as Captain America. One of them is me as Iron Man with the glove about to snap. What's this one?
Okay.
This one is that the Scarlet Witch? Yes, I'm the Scarlet Witch too. That's funny. Those will be on the show tomorrow. So anyway, man, that dude's talented. Trevor, I don't know if you saw the picture of me as Captain America with the AI. You probably weren't here for that. I'm going to put it up on the screen right now. The Hulk one's better. Here's the Hulk one with my face. So anyway, anything else going on? Because I gotta close.
I got a topic for you. Here's one. I mean, this is off the wall. Elaine Boozler. You know who she is?
Yes, I do.
She got kicked out of Dodger Stadium because she was there, had a handbag or something.
Yeah.
They thought she was packing a weapon or something. Did you see that?
I did. And I know somebody. Well, you and I both know somebody that knows Elaine Boozler very well. Steve Bluestein.
From the past?
Steve Bluestein.
Oh, he does? Okay, yeah. And he was like his Andy Kaufman. He was her girlfriend.
Yeah, Steve Bluestein knows everybody, but he's a very good friend. I think his show he's had Elaine Boozler on. But anyway.
I don't know, but what do you think about that handcuffed and everything?
I think that's overkill. I don't think she deserved that.
Right.
Well,
our world is becoming too politically correct and too afraid of each other.
Well, I don't like to think of it as our world, Trevor, because that would mean that would mean you and I are in partnership on something.
We are. We're a partnership on your historian.
On the world. Yes. Hey, I've got a whole bunch of chats to get through here before the end of the show.
Okay, go ahead.
So, but I do appreciate you and Savannah calling in. I very much appreciate that.
No problem. Have a good night.
I'll do that. You guys do the same.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for smuggling Trevor into the show with your phone number.
I know. I did it.
Hey, don't block it, all right?
I'm not gonna. All right. Later. Bye.
Okay.
Wait till you guys see these AIs that SG Fanboy did. Reed Grisham's Playing for Pizza, a fun novel travelogue about an amateur club football, American-style football, in Italy. Not to change the subject, but it just came to mind. That sounds pretty cool, actually. Jared says, sorry, Tom, being Irish-Italian fellow from New York City, I had to say something, but I've had the Red Baron, and it's not bad at all. It's with the stuffed crust, with the cheese in the crust. Just saying. I'm eating Turkish pizza all week, says Hungus Mungus. What's Turkish pizza? Come on, StreamYard. There we go. Aku says, my boss just walked in with a customer as I'm cursing the existence of a Kia engineer. Apparently he wants me to fix a box side on a Chevy now. You know, Aku, I wish I had a trade skill like you do, where turn down your radio, ma'am. Caller, would you please caller? I like calling people caller. Rumple Trenchcoat is smiling. Do buns and basketball next. Buns and basket. I didn't know there was such a thing. Terry Nee says best tight ends in football. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. I think SG Fanboy just did. Shared a photo with you. Not sure you want to show this one. All right. Now I got to look at it. Are there shows on afterwards here? Oh God, that's a Wolverine? That's like a Wolverine. I'll show that. Isn't it Wolverine? If it's something bad, I won't show it. But fire truck, such language. That doesn't sound like the King's English to me. Hungus Mungus is laughing. Toby McGrovey says, Trevor, remember, don't you dare besmirch the name of the great Tom Gully on my program. Be gone with you, and never darken my doorstep again. Lagabout. Hungus Mungus, I want to see Tom as a space marine. What the? Terry Nee, I just got that. Took me a minute, says Toby McGrovey. He is Iron Gully, runs a show on YouTube, and he's funny. Do not swear on his show, or he'll get mad, and out the door you go. That's probably a song, and I missed the lyrics. Share, share, share. Oh, yeah. Share, like, subscribe, retweet, all that stuff. How many people we got? We got 20 on YouTube, 11 on Twitter. Hi, Twitter friends. The water's awful warm here on YouTube. But watch it where you want to. Just share it with other people so they can get in on all this nausea. SG Fanboy says it's Black Panther. Oh, cool. All right. Well, I could be Black Panther. Wakanda forever. Jenny G says, ooh, tomato sauce would get the views, Hungus Mungus. And Aku says, being in the trades isn't as good as it was. No one understands the sheer cost of product or the time required, especially with rust repair. No, they don't. And you know what? A lot of people just don't want to fix their stuff anymore, or even convert it or customize it. They just get something new. Case in point, TV repairman. Man, there were dudes that were making a good living as TV repairmen. Have you seen a TV repair shop lately? Ever? They don't repair them anymore. They just go, you just get a new TV. It's broken. Just get a new TV. You ever have a motherboard on a computer go out on you? They just look at you like you're crazy when you talk about repairing it. What? Repair it? No, it's motherboard. Can't you put a new motherboard? Yeah, but just get a new computer. Yeah, by the time you pay for a new motherboard, you might as well just go ahead and get another computer. You know what I mean? You might as well. All right. What do we got going on here? Okay, I'm turning off the phone. Is there any other shows tonight after this one, you guys? I'm not paying attention that good. Sorry. I guess I could look real fast. Because if they're not, I could go along. Oh, Iron Man, the Ozzy song. Yeah, I'm not I had a roommate in college that listened to a lot of Ozzy, but I never, I just wasn't, hardly ever. Hungus Mungus says, I remember times when TVs just wouldn't break. Yeah. Reverend says, no shows I could see. No shows going on that I would want to see. That's a Graham Parker song. No shows going down that I would want to see. Stuttering John Leftovers. Okay, that's been over for an hour. That's been over for. I don't see anything there. I don't see a Shawnee show. So I guess there's not. Is there anything on Levyverse or something? Let me check. I don't see anything. I don't see anything scheduled. That was for you, Diane O'Brien. I don't see anything on the schedule. Well, we can stay just a little bit longer. We won't play. Anyway. Because the promoter won't mind. That's me. And the roadies won't mind. That's me also. If we take a little time, we leave it all behind and playing one more song. Today's electronics are better replaces. There's something better for the cost of repairing and shipping. Yeah, I know. No shows. Well, it's like that thing where it's like, yeah, you could replace the motherboard. That'll cost $900. A new computer costs $1,000. You might as well get a new computer. Ozzy, very interesting man, yes. Know of him well. Yes. PCL, I think. I don't consider that a show. I'm sorry. I consider that nonstop triggering, being triggered by things like a leaf blew by my house. The doctor said, I was just hoping you'd find it funny, Tom. I did find it funny. I did. Hungus Mungus says, by the way, weed is now legal in Germany. Okay. Aku Mugen says, also fight for OEM parts and automotive repairs. They never fit the same and they aren't the same quality of materials. Okay. You saying OEM aren't the same? Or you're saying fight for those, make sure you get those. I don't understand what that. I don't. Yeah. I don't. I mean, you should always get the stuff if you can. It's like when I used to play the harmonica, the amps that I had required tubes, and you can get tubes now, new tubes, but those new tubes are made in like China and Yugoslavia, and the materials aren't as good as back in the day when they used tubes for everything, for televisions and everything, when tubes were in their heyday. So you would get what was called NOS tubes, new old stock. So they used to manufacture tubes like crazy because they were using them for everything. And when they phased them out, they had these warehouses full of surplus tubes. And Mullard was a great brand, even RCA. And so if you were a serious harp player, your tubes were new old stock. You went and paid the extra because you were paying a lot more for those tubes. But they were worth it. They gave you that creamy, really, it was really good sound. The Doctorn says, it is Iron Man. No aftermarket are low quality. Yeah, they are. Yes, sir. Well, it's like the lights on my Jaguar. You can't get the lights they used to make for those Jags. Now, they make lights supposedly to spec, but they make them in Mexico, and they just go out way too often. It's normally the bulb, but still, because the bulb's not hard to replace. It's just a pain. Toby McGroby says, I'm not into the PCL stuff either. No offense, PCL. But I just don't like screaming all the time. So I can't watch John's show. That bellowing for no reason. I mean, I think he thinks it makes him cool or tough. And it's just, man, I can't watch it with my speakers on. Because you set the speaker to talk level, and then he starts screeching, and forget it. Aku says, insurance companies aim for aftermarket as they see their fractional cars. Oh, yes. Yeah. The aftermarket parts are like generic drugs. They're formulated the same. They're supposed to be the same thing, but they're not the same thing. They're not. Not all the time. Not all the time. But most of the time, you get what you pay for. There are things in this world that are the same. Peanut butter. Peanut butter is sold and processed by grade. There's premium, and there's no difference. But there's not a lot of those. Lyndon says, weed and the Autobahn. Maybe they could use a little. Chill them out on the Autobahn. Rumple Trenchcoat says, that performative John yelling is pretty unwatchable. That's why I enjoy TSN and WATP who can make it fun. Well, not only do they make it fun, but I will never watch John again. I would prefer to watch my Lost Interest and obviously all the Shuley stuff and WATP because they give you the fillet of John. They give you the prime cut. You don't have to watch the whole thing. You can just get the good parts. So I'm never watching him again. There's no need. It's a waste of time. I've had a fender that was 1/2 inch short in length. Basically, OEM presses are used for a set amount of panels. Then they are sold to the aftermarket companies, regardless of disrepair. That is correct, sir. That is correct, sir. Clips only for me also. Yeah. Jenny G says, I watch John on TSN and WAPO because they make John funny and the other chatters can be just as funny. That's true. Very true, Jenny. Towns, imagine listening to WATP for any length of time. Towns, are you named after Towns Van Zandt? The legendary Towns Van Zandt. I've noticed there's nothing worse than trying to fix something yourself and getting some OEM part for it, usually because of an upgrade in technology or something. Like it's if like so you have this thing and time has marched on, but there's an adapter or something you can put on the thing, and you get an OEM thing that's supposed to, and it doesn't even remotely fit. You're looking at it from all angles, going, nope, that's not, nope, 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 nope. And back when I was younger, I would try and let me see if it'll end up breaking things and stuff. Peanut butter, jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly. Okay, sorry. Peanut butter jelly with a baseball. Town says, ding, 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 ding. The great Towns. If you haven't checked out Towns Van Zandt, you are missing out. Peanut butter. Yes, exactly, Trenchcoat. I wish someone would take a hit for the team and watch Opie's content for us. I have a hell of a grudge against that dude. Why do you have a grudge against Opie? I don't know if some of you will remember, but I was actually on, I want to say the BS show when Opie was supposed to come on, you know, and he didn't. He got mad at Shuley. Jenny G says, Tom, I know you watch Uncle Rico, but what are a couple other YouTube shows you watch? Oh, man, well, I miss Phil Elmore. I used to watch that one. But I watch a lot of shows that aren't even live, right? If that makes any sense. Here, let me go down my subscription list. If you'd really like to know, I'll go down my list of subscriptions here and I'll tell you. But most of the shows that I watch aren't live. Now I do watch Opie from time to time, and his show can be really interesting because he does sometimes get on a question. He'll start talking about bands or something, and it'll riff on a lot of people, you know, sort of talking about music or something. And it's very interesting. But a lot of times it's howling at the moon, if that makes any sense. He's just being upset. And I don't need to see that. I'm upset myself. Well, I watch the Shuley Network. I watch Who Are These Podcasts. I watch Levyverse. I, of course, watch all of the updated 7-minute versions of the Major League Soccer matches. I watch a show about soccer called The Overlap. That's real. I'm not going to mention the soccer shows. There's too many of them. I watch Timeline World History. I watch the 48 Hours show. Oh, man, there's a great show I watch called The Reckoning. And so it's when a Karen flips out in public, or somebody does something wild, crazy, borderline, or maybe even illegal. There's a show called The Reckoning that will tell all about that person and what actually happened to them after they were publicly outed and all that stuff. It's called The Reckoning. It's really, really good. I watch a lot of movie and song reaction shows. I'm not going to tell you about those. I also belong to a number of channels that are repurposed Opie and Anthony content. I mentioned it to Dinah O'Brien the other day. There's a show I watch called Updating, which is kind of an interesting dating show. Let's see here. I watch a show called Jomboy Media, which is a guy that takes baseball clips and actually slows them down so he can tell what the umpire and the player are saying to each other. And it's pretty good. I watch a channel that chronicles the stupidity of sovereign citizens. It's called the Van Balion channel, Vanbalion. I watch that a lot. I watch the David Letterman YouTube channel. There's a, let's see, I'm on the American Experience. That's a PBS channel. Let's see here. I just remembered another one. I'm waiting to find it here. I watch a show called Pod Awful. Some of you may be familiar with. And the Pod Awful Cult. Let's see. True Crime Daily. Perry Caravello. There he is. Wendy Pack, watch Wendy the Slow Adult. Let's see here. Let's see. Real Body Cams. I watched some of that. I watched the Public Freakout channel. Definitely watched that. I watch a channel called World's Strictest Parents, where they take these crazy, out of control kids and they make them stay for a week with people out in the country that are real strict. I like that story. I like that show. Team Coco. I watch Team Coco. You bet I do. Excuse me. Oh, look, it's Trevor Garner. I'm subscribed to the Trevor Garner channel. There's a channel called Lazy Masquerade that is about horrific things that have happened to people. I watch Weird History, Truly Criminal. That is a dark show. Let's see here. Patrice O'Neill videos. I watch that. Pop Culturally Challenged is an interesting channel. The Leon Lush channel. Leon Lush. He talks about all sorts of things. If you really want some great, hilarious things to watch, go to a channel called The Jay Leno. Jay Leno is one word. The Jay Leno, one word, and then Fly. And it's mostly Craig Ferguson clips that have been packed together. That is a really good channel. The Colin Quinn channel is great. Let's see. Oh, here's a great channel. It's called Scammer Payback. And it's these guys that are tech gurus that people will email them and go, I've got this scammer that keeps calling me up trying to scam them. These guys are so good that they find out where these scammers are, mostly over in India, and they track them down to their exact office. It's amazing. Scammer Payback. Really good channel. Really, really good channel. I watch a lot of documentaries, so I watch the free documentary channel and the documentary channel. There's a channel called Dead Meat that has a playlist on it. It's like a feature on their show. This is really good, by the way, called The Kill Count. And what he does is he watches horror. James A. Janice is his name. He watches horror movies, and he takes the movie down to about 20 minutes, and he just shows the parts where people get killed in the horror movie and rates them. And he's funny. He's hilariously funny. BuzzFeed Unsolved, which is called something else now, with the two guys that used to be on it. Really good. They did like 7 seasons. I forget what they're called now. But that is an amazing channel. Really, really, really is. There's the Flight channel. There's one called Mentour Pilot that I watch, Mentour, and then Pilot. It's this Swedish guy that breaks down aircraft disasters, and it's done with like super good storytelling, and amazing graphics. He really gets into it. You'll never want to fly again, by the way, if you watch that channel. Ever. Man, I'm skipping over so many suckers. Oh, here's one. Here's one that'll make you have to go to the dry cleaners with your pants. The guy's name is James Kingston. James, James Kingston, Kingston. He's a free climber that climbs up building scaffolds, cranes, and towers and stuff. Free climbing, only he's got a GoPro on in like 4K HD, and he's got a drone program to follow him around. Dude, you can't even watch his videos on full screen without going, oh my God. It'll mess you up. I'm telling you, it will totally mess you up. Let me see here. Not even a show. If you're a liberal, that's a good show to watch. I'm neither thing, but he's a friend and he's funny. There's a show called SGV News First, and that guy is a First Amendment auditor, and he's, oh boy, is he good. He sometimes is a jerk, but he's so funny that you overlook it. Not a jerk that often, but just once in a while. But he's really, really good. So that's just scanning them really fast. I wish I could remember the new channel for the BuzzFeed Unsolved guys. And some of these other things that I'm looking at here. But those are some of the things that I watch. Let's see what's on my screen right now. That I just open up a new YouTube screen. Oh, here's one. Don Shipley, former Buds 131. So it's Don Shipley, Shipley, former, and then Buds 131, Buds 131, all one word. And he does stolen valor for Navy SEALs. And he's got every single person that's ever been in the Navy SEALs database. And people tip him off to folks that are saying they were in the Navy SEALs, but aren't. And he calls them up. He's actually visited some of them. He's awesome. He's hilarious. And he just corners these people. And some of these guys are real, hey, buddy, I'll tell you what, you face me face to face. My name's Don Shipley. You might want to look me up. I don't care what your name is. 10 minutes later, they're calling him back, apologizing profusely because they've learned who he is. Who does this say is the best goalkeeper across all leagues? I gotta watch that. I better put my watch late. I'm so backed up with watch later. I could probably watch YouTube videos for 3 months and never catch up with that. Well, here's one from the serial killers documentaries called The Ruthless Mormon. Serial killer Arthur Bishop. I'll probably watch that later. Friend of the Doomsday couple recalls unusual... So that's a friend of the people that were in the Doomsday cult. Yeah. Wow. Here's one. It's called Infamous Crime Locations. And this guy just goes to places where famous crimes have taken place and just walks around and scouts out where they happen. I know. I have a lot of free time. Let's see what else is on this page. That's a soccer one. I can't talk to you about that one. There's so many soccer ones, it's not even funny. There's one called Court Nerds that's got wild things that have happened in the United States courtrooms. Real wild. It's called Court Nerds. Let's see. Opie Radio is... The Legal Eagle. If you want somebody to break down things like this episode right here I'm looking at for Legal Eagle, one word, Legal Eagle. It says O.J. Simpson is dead. Will his victims finally get paid? He'll break that down for you legally. and he breaks down all sorts of stuff. He also watches movies about lawyers and TV shows and tells you how accurate they are and if whatever happens would really happen, and rates them, by the way. He's really good. He's super, super, super good. Johnny Carson channel. Already told you about updating. I think that's probably enough. I mean, is that enough? I think that's probably need to get back into the chat room and look at what you guys are saying to me. So yeah, that's probably enough for the time being what it is. Let's see what we have here. Let's see what we have here. Oh gosh, I have to really go back here a little ways. All right. I regularly listen to O&A Pest attacking other shows. I love when they attack Scott Farrell, and things like that. The longest was a week and a half of 2,000 listeners calling in. What John willingly deals with is a kindness in comparison. You got that right, Aku. You really, really do. Opie ruins the fun. JC says Opie was such a buzzkill in the later years of O&A. You are correct, JC, but the mythology that Opie didn't contribute or was not a big part of that show for most of its run is crazy, because during those years he was fun and he was funny, and he's admitted that he disconnected at a certain point, but for most of it he was great. Rumple Trenchcoat, a Columbo podcast, says, I do miss Phil Elmore too. I enjoyed his take on the Dabbleverse and other topics when Zen was on for nerdy fun stuff. Yeah, Phil's got a talent for this. It's too bad one person, we all know who I'm talking about, had to go so far out of his way to make that guy miserable. I will never forgive that person for that. And that person defined themselves for me for eternity. Hungus, and what he did to Artie Lang. Hungus Mungus says, I mostly listen to audio books on YouTube. There's a bunch of good ones. There's a great audio book read of The Godfather. It's in 2 giant parts. So good. The Reckoning. I got to see that. It is really good. Watched Paycheck. I can watch it many times, says Terry Nee. I'll have to check into that. Me too. I'll have to give The Reckoning a try. The Reckoning's really good because the guy that does The Reckoning is like got a real conversational style, and he's really fair about stuff. He's not there to pile on. He's very he gives both sides, and he's great. For those of you who are wondering what happened to the Karen in the park, he's very good. He's very good. The best of Opie was laughing at what Anthony and Jimmy were saying. Well, Towns, who smashed the cake? Who threw the poker chips? Who broke the guitar? I mean, I could go down the list of hilarious things that Opie did. You know, he was Letterman YouTube channel is extremely good. It is, Jared. It is. And by the way, let me tell you a little story about that. There was a guy named Don Giller, who's amazing, who chronicled the entire Letterman history. Had them all on videotapes. The ones he didn't have, he bartered for and everything. And he had a YouTube channel. And he would put all of Don Rickles on or whatever. And when someone died, he would put up one of their appearances. Well, Letterman's decides to start his own YouTube channel. And they came to him and went, look, we're starting our own. You kind of probably weren't ever allowed to do this, but tell you what we'll do. We'd like to hire you to help us with ours because you have the best records of anyone. So that's how cool Letterman is, you know. But Don Giller's page still exists on YouTube. Don Giller, Giller. What was the history program called, Tom? Which history program? Which one? I'm sorry, I'm not on that page anymore, Diana. I think there's history documentaries, history. I think that was one of them. Not sure. Sorry, I wasn't watching the chat. My fault. P-Run, military analysis. Atomic Shrimp, British guy doing scam baiting and other esoterica. Unauthorized history of the Pacific War. Well, if I was to get into some of those, that's Vox in the Void is pretty cool. Dark sci-fi stuff. Yeah, that Lazy Masquerade is a ruin. Leon Lush is great, says Toby McGrovey. Isn't he, though? He really is. Bait Cars crack me up. Yeah, that Bait Car show was like... I saw Bait Car one time. This I still can't believe I saw this. It was on Bait Car. This guy's walking down the street. He's got a plastic bag full of like little styrofoam trays in it. He gets in the car. He eats what looks like an incredibly delicious sandwich, and there's fries, and he's wolfing this stuff. He's just taking it, not his car. Finishes eating, puts all of his trash in the plastic bag, gets out and walks on down the street. And the cops are in the the remote car going, he actually hasn't broken any laws. The car was unlocked. I mean, he hadn't done anything wrong. Love Scammer Payback. Scammer Payback rocks because those guys also speak Farsi and stuff. And so they'll curse at them, or when they get cursed at, they'll say, what did you just call me? Kit Boga scammer. Okay. 74 Gear and Mentor Pilot are really great if you're interested in analysis and reenactments of airplane crashes. There's another one too that I recently started watching. It's something analysis or wrap up or something, and it's just a guy like in an office, but he used to be a pilot, and he goes through a lot of stuff too. He's really good. I loved Leon Lush's coverage of the health nut couple who faked out a self-help seminar show with a bought audience and terribly dubbed speech. Leon Lush just has a really average person's look at crazy stuff, and he's just funny. His wife's really great, too. She's got her own channel as well. Yes, my husband is a pilot and really likes Mentor Pilot. Jenny G, I love Mentor Pilot. So, you have to remember, the autopilot is not engaged until it reaches a certain altitude, and you must remain at 165 knots. If you go below that, I mean, he's so great, Mentor. But if you look at the end of Mentor Pilot's show, he's got like 20 people working on that show, and he's got those amazing graphics of the exact flight instrumentation in that model of plane and everything else. He's got some amazing graphics that go on Mentor Pilot. Rumple Trenchcoat says, I got nervous just listening to you describe the free crime show. Yeah, that's James Kingston. Check him out. Man. Lindy Beige, more British esoterica history military. Don't get me started on the number of British soccer. There's one channel called the Ye Old Football channel that's got old English soccer matches back into the 60s, 70s, 80s. And at one point, they do season by season by season. I've watched them all of them. Don Shipley is great at Stolen Valor Exposure. He's the best. He's the king. Best hair in the Navy. Don Shipley with the big... I don't like his new beard, but I don't have to. His wife is so funny. I actually, on my podcast, was supposed to interview Don Shipley one time. I called him up. His wife answers, Don, he's back out doing something. I don't know where he is right now. Can I call him back later? Yeah, you can try to catch him. I tried to catch him 2 or 3 times, and I finally just gave up. Don Shipley is great. I'm not blaming him, by the way. He's a busy guy. Runs that camp and then all the other stuff he does. And it's like, he don't want to talk to me. Aku says, was the BuzzFeed group called Watchers? Yes, it is Watchers. If so, they just announced they were going paywall content only, nothing for YouTube or Patreon. Well, they're getting a little big for their britches there because they should really have both, you know? They really should. But then again, those guys have 7 seasons of stuff on BuzzFeed, right? So what do they really need to do, free stuff for? I do have to admit, I haven't watched them as much since they're not on BuzzFeed because I don't think their shows are structured the same way. But the Lockpicking Lawyer is fun. I haven't seen that one. CoffeeZilla, Atozi are great for breakdown in crypto and drama, says Aku. That's cool. I love Lockpicking Lawyer. The dude is so chill he can pick anything. Tim Jenkins says the Colombian women's football, soccer for Americans, seems like a lot like this league. It kind of is, Tim. Hey, Kathleen, put your clothes back on. People saying hi. Joker says, sister and I went to the David Letterman show in 1993. It was super fun. I can't remember the last time I was there. I remember the first time I was there was in 86, I want to say. Diana, maybe weird. It was, Karen Garvey, you rock. Diana, the name of the show was Weird History. Weird History. Thank you. Thank you, Karen Garvey. Hungus Mungus says, puking on the dance floor and making breakdance don't impress the ladies. No. No, I don't think so. Hopefully you can't look back and laugh. There you go. Air Safety Institute on YouTube. Aku says, Thunderfoot is an incredible creator. Covers tech scams like Theranos, solar roadways, water from air, nuclear batteries. He has lately been breaking down Musk's nonsense. Okay. That's cool. Man, that's cool. Hopefully you can look back and laugh. There you go. I thought there was something funny with that. I didn't want to say nothing. Far be it from me to cast the first aspersion. I like to cast the second or third aspersion. Hold on, let me see if I can figure out something. Because I watch more stuff than that. But, I watch a lot of stuff that's just referred to you because you watch another thing. I don't necessarily subscribe to it. But I've got 230 subscriptions, so yes, I have a sickness. And I didn't mention all the soccer ones to you because we'd be here all night. I'm on so many soccer ones. It ain't even funny. It ain't even funny. Who are these podcasts? I watch, yeah, those are all news. Sorry. I tell you what, I listen to a lot of music. And I love the way YouTube will pick a music mix for you. Love that. Love that. There's Don Shipley again. Oh, they're just giving me kind of the same stuff here. Let's see if I run into anything particularly good. What's that one? I don't even recognize that one. Oh, Professor of Rock is good. Professor of Rock is good. I do have to say. Let's see. I already said My Lost Interest. Infamous Crime Locations. I already told you about that one. Real Body Cams. I told you about that one. Court Nerds. Yeah, I covered most of them. I think, really. But there's a lot of great content creators out there, that's for sure. I wish I had more time to make these more, sort of in-depth and better production and all that. But let's face it, we all know that's beyond my capabilities. We all know I'm not that good. Lush Life, that's his wife's. His wife's is called Lush Life. He's Leon Lush. Hers is called Lush Life. Hers is really good too, by the way. He does them by himself. They do them together, and she does by herself as well. That's the way that works out. Let's see. Yeah. There's some of the people in the Dabbleverse I do not watch, and I just can't. I just don't think they're playing fair, and so I don't watch them. I do not watch them. Serial Killers documentary. That's another good one. That's another one. Okay, where was I? I believe I was over here. Okay, is like replacing planes. Yeah, his stolen 100-year-old idea of the Hyperloop. Yeah, I don't understand why people listen to him about technology. Kit Boga show's hilarious. Messes with scammers. Jenny says, fun show. Today have to run. Catch everyone. Jenny, bye. Thank you, Jenny, for your kind donation. You're the best. Thank you, Jenny G. Terry Nee says, saw my first Tesla Cybertruck today. It was in matte black. Looked like some 70s TV future car. It looks like a car that is from like another planet where they don't have any curved surfaces. Karen Garvey says, Tom, I listened to you over the weekend. Breath of fresh air, listening to the radio again. You mean you listened to me on the big fancy radio station this weekend? Lockpicking lawyer is super entertaining. Keeps his viz short and to the point. I wish you could get rid of the glare on your glasses so we can look deeply into your beautiful eyes. You don't want to do that. I have a eye injury here on this eyelid that I got last week. That was really fabulous. Crime and history documentaries are favorites to watch. They are. German YouTubers just suck. Can't stand them. Okay. Yes, the big fancy radio station. Well, Karen Garvey, how did I do? Were you impressed with my news anchoring? I hope somebody is. I sure hope somebody is. I don't know. It doesn't strike me as anybody is, but I hope somebody is. I hope somebody is. 2016, we have self-driving cars, full AI, available next year. Yeah. Give me a break. Cybertruck looks like it belongs in an old Bond movie set, like Moonraker. Cybertruck looks like it you know how they used to make models of cars out of wood? They would carve the shape of it, you know, and real aerodynamics and all that. It looks like they stopped too soon on that one. Karen Garvey says, thumbs up. Okay. Well, all right. I guess we went long tonight. So I think that's all I got. I don't even know what tomorrow's show is going to be about. I've got a bunch of them here that are sports, and I don't think sports shows, for the most part, do that well. I've got the Superstars, which is a sports show, but it's an interesting sports show. I've got Jay Johnson, which I said I was going to give people notice for that one. I've got Marshall McLuhan, the famous Canadian media theorist. And then, and this is what I think is going to be tomorrow, the William McKinley assassination. And then we're all out of U.S. presidential successful assassinations. We've got all the near misses, but let's see. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, I remember carving those Pinewood Derby cars in the Boy Scouts. Me too. Me too. Thunderfoot did a great breakdown on how unsafe in a crash those are. He also did multiple videos on what was promised versus what has been an embarrassing delivery. Yeah. Well, that's the thing you do now, is you promise the world and you underdeliver. And I hope you get market share. Murder, gore, and sex. Best topics. Well, I was told by a news director one time, car crashes, fires, and murders are the best. Trenchcoat. Yes, that's it. So there we go. There we go, kids. I think I have to watch more YouTube videos and stuff and make some dinner and sleep. I always need lots of sleep after weekend at the fancy radio station. So, you guys are the best. I thank y'all for being here. You know, I ought to do a show. That's a perfect example. I'd rather drive an original Pinto over any Tesla. I used to own an original Pinto. So, I maybe ought to do a show on YouTube channels. That could be a whole show by itself. Let's see. Sleep is overrated. I don't think so, man. I used to think so, but right now I don't. I'm needing it. So anyway, you guys, as always, have been super cool, super generous, and it was just a blast being here with you tonight. And we'll be back tomorrow night and maybe talk about dead presidents. Who knows? But one thing I can tell you is till next time. We'll see you next time.